Hey everyone, welcome to our series of Hangouts. Today we have the lovely Natasha who's going to be talking to us about mobile enhancements, which I'm quite excited to know. I've been asked a lot of questions about them recently. So if you have any questions, you can catch us on Twitter, #AskAdWords. You can also post underneath the link. And we do also have this new app available, which you'll see on the right-hand side of your screen, that if you have any questions to ask Natasha at the end, we're more than happy to answer them for you. So I'm going to stop rambling on. But this will be timestamped, so you can skip over this if you want. Will be posted on YouTube's timestamp. So over to you, Tash.
Thanks, Sinead. So, hi everyone, I'm Natasha. I'm going to be going over some ways to optimize your mobile traffic that comes through on AdWords. So, just going to give you a brief rundown then on why mobile is so important. So, you probably all have a smartphone. You probably all use it a lot. I know that I'm always on it. And more we're finding that people tend to be using their mobile to search. So desktops and tablets, obviously still being used a lot, but mobiles are becoming increasingly popular. So one of the main things we always talk to our advertisers about is how to optimize their mobile traffic. Because I think a lot of people don't realize there are so many features available to you in AdWords that you can use to really optimize that. So what I'll run through with you guys today, there's a few different things we can do. A few topics we're going to cover are going to be mobile bid adjustments, also going to look at mobile preferred ads, so how you can create ads to make them more optimized for mobile. Also going to look at adding in call extensions, using Google forwarding numbers, and then also quickly touch on call conversions on site, so when you have a phone number on your website that you want to track. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a few things then within an account. We have like a test account here to run through it, so you guys can feel free to use it as well on yours if you want to know where everything is. So I'll run through a few things there. So firstly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you about mobile bid adjustments and how you can use them. So mobile bid adjustments, you have like a desktop and a tablet bid. You might not realize, but mobile traffic can be so important. For example, let's say I had a pizza restaurant and I wanted to get people who are within the area, within maybe a 10-mile radius, who are looking for pizza, looking for eating pizza at that point. Chances are they could be in the area searching on their mobile phone. I want to be able to make sure that I am tracking that and I'm targeting my ad towards those people. So I would perhaps put a higher bid adjustment on mobile traffic for that particular radius, for example. So let me show you within an account, actually. I'm going to transfer you over to an account now so you guys can have a look here. So I hope you can see this here now. If you go ahead and click onto, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this very aptly named Pizza Place campaign that we have here. And the way to actually change your bid adjustment is if you pop here into the Settings tab, and then you'll see just here to the right where it says Devices. Click onto that there. And then if you scroll down now here, you'll see we have computers, mobile devices with full browsers, and tablets with full browsers. So here under bid adjustments, you can't actually change your computers or your tablet bid. So that is just your set bid when you first set up the campaign and the ad group. But you can see here, you can actually click to increase or decrease your mobile device bid amount there. And it gives you an example here. So for example, if I put in, 10% increase, it'll say here, a £10 bid in the UK will become £11. So whatever amount you put into your average bid, we will adjust that as a percentage. And you can do the same by decreasing it as well. So if mobile traffic, let's say, isn't as valuable to you, you can actually decrease that amount too. So all you'd have to do then would obviously be to save that, and that would come up there showing your bid adjustments. This will definitely help with your ranking on the page. So you've probably noticed when you're looking at a smartphone, there aren't as many ads on the page. So you may be performing maybe in sort of 5th, 6th position on desktops and tablets, but what you want to ensure is that on mobiles, you are getting into those top positions as there is less space on the screen itself. So once you've got your ad position to a place where you want it, we want to maybe work on improving your ads. So what we'll do now is we'll pop back into that account there and have a look at the ads tab just here. And as you can see, I've made some fantastically creative ads right there. And you can see one of them here has mobile written underneath. So there are 2 ads. And I'm just going to show you how you'd actually go about putting them in. So if you just click here onto this green button where it says plus add, click onto that there, and then click text add. You can actually see here, you put in your descriptive lines as much as you want, put in whatever unique selling points you have there, and there's this little box here where you can actually tick for mobiles. So something to be aware of, if you tick here, it'll actually change it there so you can actually see what your ad looks like on the smartphone. Something to be aware of is that it's not necessary to always have one for desktop, one for mobiles, but it is recommended, especially if you have a reason for people to want to use their phone. So, for example, a lot of people would maybe be looking at calling you directly, so you might have a call to action, like call us today, or maybe order before noon for 10% off, something like that. So maybe a promotional offer. If you have, just to give you an idea, if you have 2 ads in your ad account, in your AdWords account, and both of them have been ticked with the mobile box, that would mean that you are actually open to show on all devices. The same would be if you had 2 ads and neither of them had the mobile box ticked, they would still be free to show on all devices. However, if you had 2 ads, one ticked for mobile, one ticked without, it would mean that the mobile preferred ad would show on mobiles and the other one would show to desktop users or tablet users. So something to bear in mind there, but really good one to use. Also really good if you have a different URL for mobiles, for example. Some people have mobile optimized sites, so you could use that in your mobile preferred ad. Okay, so we'll pop back now into the AdWords account, and let me show you, I mentioned there about call extensions. So this is a really great feature that anyone who welcomes mobile traffic should be looking at implementing. So we'll pop here into the Ad Extensions tab, just there. And then we just want to go here and just the left side here where it says View. If you just want to change that there to Call Extensions. And you'll see here now it says No Settings. So I currently haven't put a phone number in. You just want to click onto Edit there. It'll open up a box. And I'll just show you here, we have a number already put there. But if you want to create one from scratch, you can just click here where it says plus new phone number and pop that in. But what we'll do is we'll put this one over. And I'll show you here, this little pencil mark here allows you to edit. So this is what it looks like when you come to add in a call extension. As you can see here, you pop in whatever country you're using, and then go ahead and put in your number there within the box on the right. I'll just show you here, if you wanted to use your own phone number, you select this second option just here. What that would mean is if someone was searching on their desktop and they saw an ad appear, your mobile phone number or your landline number would appear next to the ad. If someone is searching on a smartphone, on their mobile, it would come up as a little Call Now button underneath, which is clickable. And they can actually click on that, and it'll take them directly to the dial pad, and they can then ring you. So that would be how if you wanted to put in your own phone number. I'm also just going to touch on this area here where you can actually put in a Google forwarding phone number. So a forwarding number is slightly different. It's where we, Google, will generate a unique forwarding number for you. That number will appear next to your ad there. If someone chooses to pick that to ring that number, it will come through to you. So it will come through to the number that you've specified there. The only benefit of this one, though, is that we can then track that for you, and we can give you details like what keyword triggered it, where the call came from, how long it lasted. So it's a really good one there if you want to be able to track the calls and see what effect they're having. And as you can see here as well, there's this other really good feature there that is only available for the forwarding number, which is called call conversions. So if you tick this little box here, you can actually count calls as count the calls, as conversions when they last longer than a certain amount of time. So let's say you say, going back to the pizza place example, if you spoke to someone for more than 60 seconds, you might deem that to be a conversion because you probably have taken an order over the phone. That way you can track that conversion, and again, we can tell you which call that came from. Really good one to use. This one isn't available for your own phone number option, just because we obviously can't track your numbers. So really good one to use the forwarding phone number if you do want to have that option there. Then the last thing I said I was going to walk you guys through would be the call conversion tracking. So this is slightly different and it's a little bit more advanced. The way this one works is, let's say you had your pizza website. Someone came to the site and thought, I want to browse through all the menus before I make my decision. So I'm not ready to ring up yet, just looking at the ad. So they can actually go ahead, click through to your website, have a browse around, and then say they decide to click on the number that you have on your site there and you have it actually trackable, you can actually put a conversion tracking code there that allows you to track that number. And it means you can then refer that back to, again, the keyword that it came from, which ad group, etc. Really good way to track the phone numbers on your site. So that would actually be set up separately. That is in your conversion tracking column, which is under Tools and Analysis in your account. The same way you would set up conversion tracking if you were maybe selling an item and you had a shopping basket, this would work the same way. The only difference is you'd select the on-site calls option. So a few things there we went over for optimizing your account there for mobiles. Really good points to touch on there. I mean, like I say, there's so much you can play around with in the account that I think a lot of people aren't aware is even there. Definitely very good for businesses that have physical store locations and where calls are very important. Maybe you don't do a lot of your business on the site itself. You prefer phone calls. These features are so important. So just to recap, just so you remember, because I threw a lot of information at you there, mobile bid adjustments, which you can find under Settings. We then have Mobile Preferred Ads, which is under the Ads tab. We then have Call Extensions, which is under the Ad Extensions tab. And then we have On-Site Call Conversions, which is under the Conversions tab under Tools and Analysis there at the top of the page. So hope that all made sense. If you do have any questions at all, feel free to write them in there. And I'll pass you back over to Sinead.
Thanks a mil, Tash. That was actually really interesting. I didn't know as much about our call conversions as I do now, so that was really insightful. I hope you guys learned an awful lot. Just to reiterate, this is actually part of a series. Our series is Beyond the Text Ad. So next week we have location enhancements, which is really good for you guys because it's all about, you know, small businesses to large businesses and how we can actually enhance per location. So that's a good one to tune into. Again, this will be posted on YouTube just afterwards, so it will be timestamped, so you'll be able to go through everything. And if there is anything you want to skip through, then you can do so. We did have one question from Christian, just about Hangouts happening most of the time live or not. No, they're not happening all the time, but they are happening around every Thursday on 5. But if you tune into our Google Plus page, you'll be able to see the Hangouts live when our up-and-coming one is. Our next one is on Thursday, next Thursday at 5 p.m., well, basically our time, but 9 a.m. In Californian time. So if you want to tune into that, that's on location enhancements. But thanks again to Tash. I really, really enjoyed that, Tash, and I think it was great. So if you have any questions, please, you know, I don't think we have any more. Thanks a mil, Tash.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.